Hey gang, and welcome back to another rendition of what you should be watching. This time, we're going to be calling it What You Should Have Watched, with me, Brad Fitzpatrick, and my ever so lovely co-host, Zach Washburn. Say hi, Zach.
Hi, Zach.
Today, we are running very low in the barrel of ideas. So, I have figured that we would talk about movies from our younger years. Those many years ago where we had no bills, and we could watch good things before they started turning to crap,
Right.
as they are now. So I figured that these are going to be oldies but really good movies that we used to probably play over and over and over and over again. And hopefully you did too. If not, you can talk to us about your movies that you like. But without further ado, Zach, let's just jump right in there. What is your number 5?
Thanks for always letting me go first, by the way.
Always. Beauty before age.
Yeah, I will say that mine are pretty obscure for a young person to watch. I think they're more like adult comedies. I liked these kind of movies a lot more when I was a kid. I don't really get into comedies now. I think just because they're not the same. I did, of course, like just your normal Disney movies and like, of course, like movies like The Labyrinth and Return to Oz. I watched those, and fantasy movies like that. But I picked these because they were different for a little kid to watch. So number 5 was Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Very good choice.
Yeah.
I remember watching that movie for the first time long ago, and really kind of wanting to be Ferris Bueller.
Oh yeah.
And it's still like so iconic as well. Like I don't think there's ever been a movie quite like it, or will ever be quite like it.
So Ferris Bueller was the man. He ran the school and was the most popular. I think everyone wanted to be Ferris Bueller.
I mean, it was like everything he did was smooth and suave and just confident.
Yeah.
But I think that was kind of like the point of the movie, though, is that even if you were that confident, you still had issues.
Sure, the everyday teenage issues,
Which was fantastic. And I mean, some of the things, like the big parade and the song and, the Sausage King of Chicago.
Right.
That
was great. Yeah.
It's such a fantastic movie. Such a great choice for your number 5. Now, when you first watched that movie, why did it resonate with you so much?
All of these movies really resonated with me in some way, just because of their campy type humor. Now, being a child, I didn't get a lot of the jokes, and I would not get them until I got older and would watch them in adult life. I don't know why these movies just stuck with me. I mean, just like you, I would watch them over and over again. I would watch these movies just as much as I'd watch, Robin Hood or Sword in the Stone or any kind of children's movie that you're supposed to watch. I don't know why it resonated with me so much. I think maybe because it was about Ferris Bueller and that he was so popular and cool, and maybe even at a young age I strived to be that cool. I never made it.
I don't know, Zach. You're pretty cool to me.
Well, now, but in high school, I was very far from Ferris Bueller, believe me.
Well, I mean, it's that confidence key. You just got to have that confidence.
Well, I did.
Yeah, me neither. Me neither. I have more confidence now than I've ever had as a child.
Yeah.
But school sucked. So.
Oh, yes.
All right, good number 5. What is your number 4?
Number 4, I've mentioned it before on my comedy list. This is Police Academy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very, very well done movie. I would love, and I know we've talked about this before. So I would love to see a reunion movie.
I agree. Yeah, I would love that. Maybe even, I know they've tried to do a television show. I know they had a cartoon at one time.
Ah,
Um,
I remember the cartoon. Yep,
yeah, maybe a rebooted television show with some of the original cast. That would be all right.
that'd be fantastic. I mean, what is the Goot doing right now anyway?
Yeah, exactly. Nothing.
Nothing. Like the last thing I saw him in was a sci-fi movie,
Okay.
Lava Lantula.
Oh, yeah, makes
Yeah.
sense. God.
Well, it was good.
Was it
Yeah, I mean, you
for what it was?
yeah, it's a sci-fi movie, so
Yeah.
they took it a little bit too, Sharknado-ish.
Yeah.
And in reality, he was in a crossover with the Sharknado people because they obviously their worlds are in the same. They're in the same world.
Okay.
But-
so Lava Lantula and Sharknado are in the same universe.
Yes, I mean, I guess so because they were and they were playing their characters.
That's
And,
great.
and like the guy from Sharknado's like, "Hey man, you need to come help us out." And Steve Gutenberg's like, "Nah, man, I got a giant spider that I need to take care of."
That's cool.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that was
yeah.
really good.
The thing with Police Academy, the same thing. Adult humor I didn't really get, but I like the characters a lot. The characters are very well written. I've always liked a good sequel where the characters come back and do the same thing over and over again. I just like it.
Let's
I
just
really do.
beat this dead horse. Let's just
Yeah.
just.
I hate to say it like that, but I like when movies have a little routine.
Yeah.
I don't like them to be the same in all things in every movie. Then it gets boring. But I like it when the same people come back, when they can get everybody, and they did pretty much in all 6 movies, got everyone to come back.
Mhm.
But yeah, Police Academy was a movie that we went to a garage sale and got some VHS tapes with recorded movies on there. With different movies, and Police Academy 1, 2, 3, and 4 were all on one VHS tape. Not the best recording, but I would watch that movie. I would watch that tape over and over and over and over.
The 80s form of pirating. What do we, this?
Yeah, exactly. I eventually got 5 and 6 and everything, and but 1, 2, 3, and 4 I'd watch over and over again.
Great number 4. Like honestly, such great movies. Police Academy, such really good movies. So then, give me a moment. I'm checking my pizza.
Okay. Video. Oh yeah, he has a pizza in the oven. He went to check. He's gonna edit it out.
All right, gonna let that cool off.
As long as he's not screaming. He's fine as long as he's not screaming.
He's perfect.
Yeah.
In every way.
He is so far from perfect, right?
I mean, he's a baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'm perfect.
Well, of course. Always.
I'm rolling my eyes. You just can't see me.
Oh, she is perfect.
I'm
I need to sit him down and we need to watch Police Academy together. I think he's old enough.
No, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Okay, let's get back into this.
Okay.
So, Zach, what is your number 3?
Number 3 is Weird Science.
Ooh, yes. Yes. Every young nerd's 90s sock dream.
Yeah. Yeah, it was great. I think I liked, as a kid, the supernatural element to it. Because they created her and then she ended up having these powers and stuff. And the humor, didn't get a lot of it, but yeah, it was great.
Like such a really iconic movie too for people of my studious persuasion. We never had a date in school, and we felt like we could make our own. So
Right. One of my favorite things here is Bill Paxton's character.
Oh yes, may he rest in peace.
The jerk older brother, and when she turns him into that gross toad thing,
Yeah.
and he's like, it always sticks out to me. He's like, what'd you do to me? Fix me, you stupid bitch. And he's just this big Bob looking thing, like, you stupid bitch.
It always reminded me of Pizza the Hut too.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, as far as the same makeup,
Right?
Yeah, it was great.
Such a good movie. And I mean, like Michael C. Hall was in that too, wasn't he?
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen that movie in a long time. Actually, I need to go back and watch. I don't know if my wife has seen it. We'll need to watch it together.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's great. If she hasn't watched it, definitely. And I mean, it may not have aged that well. It's kind of like a Porky's in a way, but a little bit lighter.
Yeah, that's
You know?
exactly what it's like. Yeah, absolutely.
But I think it still lasts really well.
Absolutely.
So it's good idea. Go back and watch that. Great movie number 3. What is your number 2?
Number 2, again, we're actually from the same VHS tape, recorded together at the garage sale. The first, number 2, is Mannequin.
Ah, okay.
Kim Cattrall.
Yep.
Yeah, I liked watching as a kid that opening, the opening they had. The animation, and her had this Egyptian curse on her, and even at a young age, I really liked the love story. I didn't really get it, but I liked the connection that she and Andrew McCarthy had.
Yeah.
Something really got to me at the end, the climax of that movie, when she's when she's the mannequin and she's going over the the thing, and they're about to be recycled, and the blades are going. You remember that?
Yes.
And he catches her, and even as a kid, I was on the edge of my seat, at that, and hoping that she made it.
It's a really good movie though too, and I mean, look at the progress that Kim Cattrall has made in her career. Like you wouldn't like a lot of people out there wouldn't think much of her career in a way, but she's had pretty steady work and has done some really fantastic material.
Yeah, Sex and the City really put her on the map, but she's done a lot of other stuff. I always think of her as the Vulcan in Star Trek VI.
Right?
She was a great Vulcan.
She was, and then right now she's in Legion, the greatest show on TV right now, guys. So, last season coming out this year. Come on, you got to watch it.
She's also going to be in this new show called Filthy Rich on Fox. I've seen the trailers for that. It looks pretty good.
She played the normal character, the older white woman that's sexually active and rich.
I don't know about sexually active, but she is very rich, and the white woman is.
Well, I mean, that's usually what she plays.
She's going to be a little more conservative.
That'll be a stretch.
Yeah, exactly.
But good movie, Mannequin. Man, I haven't seen that in such a long time. But the memories that you have with that. Okay, so then what is your number 1 movie?
My number 1, watched over and over again, loved it. Again, it was on the same tape, and it kind of has the same kind of animation opening. And I mentioned it before, I think, in our Hidden Gems episode. It's Who's That Girl?
Ah, okay.
With Madonna.
Very kind of surprising. But
Yeah,
okay.
like I said, it's these movies are obscure for a little kid to watch. They're supposed to be surprising. But I did. I don't know why I love these movies so much, but I did. I would watch them all the time.
Well, I mean, I think I watched that once in my entire life, and I mean, I'm it was good, but it wasn't something I would rewatch over and over again. So please explain to people what the movie is about.
The movie is about Madonna plays a girl who's been put in prison for, I think, 3 to 5 years. I can't remember the exact number. She was framed for killing her boyfriend, and she has proof of who really did it in a safety deposit box. And spoiler alert, I don't want to give too much away, but Griffin Dunn is the main actor in this film alongside Madonna. He's hired by his boss to take her to the bus station. She's supposed to go home. That's all it's supposed to do. It's supposed to be a 5-minute drive. And she steals his car. And they end up going on this adventure trying to find out who really done it. And their chemistry was really great. They end up falling in love throughout the movie. You know that old chestnut.
They did a lot of that in the 80s, you know.
Yeah.
You know.
His boss plays the typical 80s bad businessman, and we find out he's the one that actually did it. Killed her boyfriend. That's why he wanted her gone.
Right. That sounds about right.
Yeah. Right.
Even today, it's, you know.
Yeah.
But, all right. Interesting number one choice. Very good list.
But before we get to yours, please, I have an honorable mention that I wanted to
Yes, please.
get to. Another Matthew Broderick early on.
Ooh.
Actually, it's might have been his first movie. I don't know. No, War Games, I guess, was his first movie. This
Oh,
came
yeah.
close to War Games.
Okay.
Project X. Have you ever seen that? With the monkeys?
Yes. Okay. Yep.
Yeah. This
All you had to say
based
was
on-
monkeys.
Yes. This was based on a true story about when the government was doing testing on chimpanzees.
Mm-hmm.
And Matthew Broderick is a pilot who kind of gets into trouble. And his probation is to go to this facility, and he works with these chimps. And I remember first watching this at the very end, and I was bawling as a little kid, to the point where my mother was she was like really worried about me, and from watching these chimps, you know, because it's sad at the end, and she told me it was okay, it was just a movie and everything, but I just remember watching it again and again and again, and loving these chimpanzees. I remember having this fascination with chimps when I was little. I wanted a chimp because I was an only child. I knew I wasn't going to have any brothers or sisters, and I just thought it would be cool to have this chimp because one of the chimps knew sign language.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Matthew Broderick, when he's training with the chimp, doesn't know that it's sign language because he doesn't know it's sign language, and he eventually realizes he's trying to communicate with him. So it's a really great movie, really great story, and like I said, it's based off a true story. Helen Hunt's in it too. It's one of her first roles.
Oh yeah, I remember that movie. It's really good. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
You know, I loved War Games too. If we're going to talk about Matthew Broderick,
Yeah,
Games
or-
was really great.
Yeah, War Games is great. That's another one I actually watched over and over again.
Mm-hmm. All right, that's a pretty good honorable mention. But all right, I'll get on to mine.
Okay.
Mine are like once you realize when I go through mine that you'll understand like sort of my mentality as a child growing up and how it's influenced my life. So I mean, some of these are not going to be so much shockers when you hear them, but you're going to be like, oh, you watched that as a child. Yeah. But my number 5 is a great space odyssey, one of the greatest in my opinion, you know, next to the big one, and that's Dune.
Oh, no question. Yeah, Dune's great.
Loved Dune. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, the opening
I actually
sequence
didn't
is
see Dune until I was in high school, and I really missed out when I was a kid. But I loved it when I first saw it.
yeah, you really missed out. It's fantastic. It's just the whole aspect of that movie is great. You know, a little fun fact about my oldest is when they re-released it on DVD a couple of years back when she was really, really, really tiny, she loved the opening sequence. Just the opening sequence.
Yeah.
After
Where
the
they showed
opening sequence, yeah, it was like, all right, I'm done. I'm going to walk away. But she just would want to watch that sequence.
I
Over
love
and
the
over and
opening
over.
sequence. It's great.
It is. It's one of my favorites in any movie, honestly. Though the best opening sequence of any movie of all time is Ghost Ship. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You were just talking about that to me the other day.
Yeah, I know.
It is a great scene, but then it just kind of goes downhill from there.
It's not bad. It's not bad, okay? But it could have been.
What did you think about talking about Dune? What did you think about the like the Children of Dune on Sci-Fi?
I liked it. I thought it was an interesting sort of extra take on it. But it was sci-fi.
Right.
So they had sci-fi writers. You know, and it could have been a lot better. They really could have fleshed out the world a little bit more and done a little bit with the actual backstory more, but, you know, it really, I don't know, it wasn't as good as it could have been, in my opinion.
I've heard they're trying to remake it.
I mean, here's hoping. I've heard the same thing, but, you know, it would be, like, when I hear about remakes anymore, like, and I hear, like, new movies coming out, like, I don't want, there's always that speculation of, oh, who could play this person, who could play that person. I was like, I just want no names. Like,
I think
every
that's sometimes the best thing.
what they need to do, every single movie company now just needs to go, hey, let's get the Marvel casting directors on the phone
Yes.
and have them go find us some actual actors that might fit better. I
I
mean,
agree. And then put big name actors in the minor roles,
that's perfect.
like
I mean,
Anthony Hopkins, and
oh,
they
bring Patrick Stewart back,
yeah.
right?
Oh yeah, that would be awesome.
That'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
But yeah, that Dune was such a magnificent movie, and I watched it over and over and over again when I was younger. It was so great. Um, my number four, though. My number four, most of you know I'm a horror buff. I've been a horror buff for the longest time because my dad. My dad is a big horror buff, and he would watch movies, and he would sit down and watch them and be like, hey, I'm going to watch this movie. You can come watch it with me if you want or not. And I'd be like, yeah, sure, we'll sit down and watch this movie. And so my number four should come to no surprise when I say the original Alien.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
No, I couldn't watch that till I was older.
such a great movie. Oh man,
Yeah.
the atmosphere in that movie is so, even to this day, really untouched in its bearing.
It broke the mold on horror films. It really did.
And it's still one of my favorites to this day, as just being just the ache of anticipation for what's going to happen next.
Yes. Oh, it holds up.
Oh, definitely.
Absolutely. It holds up.
And don't get me wrong, I have the entire collection. I love every single Alien movie in some way, shape, or form.
Me too.
Even the newer ones. The newer ones are really great and fantastic in their own right.
Yeah.
But my number four is the original Alien. Yeah, I watched it over and over and over again. It was one of my dad's favorite horror movies, along with Jaws. So we would just kind of shift back and forth sometimes.
Yeah. Now, were you scared of Alien?
Well, no,
When you
like,
first watched it, were you scared?
I wouldn't say I was scared.
And I was entertained. What? What'd you say?
I wouldn't say that I was scared. I've never really been scared in horror movies. I think from an early age, I think that's kind of the reason why my dad sort of like sat me down and wanted to watch horror movies with me. It's because I learned early on that they were just movies. There's nothing real about it. Like, absolutely not. So I really wasn't scared. I mean, yeah, there's always the tension. But I wasn't like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I can't sleep tonight because something might happen. I was never that way,
Really?
at all.
So even as a small child watching it, it
Yeah.
didn't scare you. You were entertained.
Yeah. Loved it.
Cool.
I did. I loved all that. Like the original It TV show
Yeah.
when it first came out. Yeah, I remember watching that the first time with my dad, and so that but I think I was like maybe 14 then, 14, 15, somewhere around there. I still own it now. My oldest wants to watch it.
Yeah.
She's seen the remake, and she's kind of like me. She loves scary stuff.
That's great.
She still gets kind of scared of the dark every now and then, but I mean, other than that, like, she's like, when it's horror, she's in. She's like, all right, we're gonna watch this horror movie.
I'm hoping my youngest will like scary movies. My wife doesn't. I really don't have someone to watch scary movies with.
Boo! Boo!
He's booing you.
Monica, yeah. Oh,
Don't hate.
bring you a blanket and cover your eyes next time then. Ah.
She does sometimes, but
I will watch them.
so number two.
So that was my number four. My number three,
Oh, that was
though.
number four?
Yeah.
Sorry. Number three.
My number three, though, is pretty self-evident. This is about kids, so I had to throw at least one really good kids movie in there. The Dark Crystal.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh, I watch Dark Crystal all the time.
We've talked about practical effects and puppetry and lots of those things in our past our videos, and it is, in my opinion, one of the greatest shining achievements of Jim Henson's work of all time. Probably one of my favorite.
Not mine, but it is definitely one of his best.
And you can be wrong. It's okay, but
I'm more of a Labyrinth fan, but Dark Crystal's definitely almost there.
yeah.
Got the new show coming out.
I know, like everything that I've seen so far has made me giddy
Me too.
To the point of explosion, all over the place. Yeah. Yeah. You're welcome, Zach. Perfect timing, kid.
Yeah. He's like, oh.
But yeah, Dark Crystal was really, really, nailed it for me when I was a kid. Really, I loved, as you said, all those other Disney movies and stuff like that. But I think I gravitated more towards, like you were, like adult comedies. I was more dark. I mean, I guess that's kind of.
Hey, well, I was too. Like like I mentioned, Return to Oz. That was kind of a darker kids movie, and I liked it too.
Right. Oh,
And
good movie.
yeah.
Good movie. But all right, my number 2 movie though. All right, kind of a kids movie, kind of not. Depends on how you take it. Kind of a horror movie, kind of not. Depends on how you take it. The original Gremlins movie.
Oh, fantastic!
So it's a Christmas movie.
It is,
We would watch it every
no
Christmas.
doubt about it.
Yep. I actually rebought it just, I think 2 years ago. I bought the 3-pack that has Gremlins 1, Gremlins 2, and Goonies.
Oh, great!
Yep. I think I actually, I do have it right here. See, it's got a little,
There we go.
Yep. It's all of them. So great, and it's something that I shared with my daughters as well. Such, again, practical effects back in the '80s. Such
Yes.
a great movie.
Perfect.
I loved. Now, don't get me wrong. Number 2 is great too.
I love to. I love the second.
2 is
Great.
fantastic, but I gravitated more towards 1 because it had a really good base set up for
Yeah.
the other movie. And
When you watch it now, it's so funny.
I'd actually even heard that they might be making a 3rd one and bringing back all the original actors.
I hope that's true. I think I actually mentioned that in my in the episode we did on sequels we'd like to see.
Yeah,
A Gremlin sequel. I thought they could do, even if they did a prequel to show how Gizmo came around and
yeah.
how he got with the old Chinese man. But I could do a direct sequel with all the original actors. It's great,
Yeah, I think that'd be fantastic.
as long as they don't screw it up with CGI.
Oh,
They can have a little bit, but if they make all the Gremlin CGI, I will not watch it.
yeah, I don't think, no. That would, no. Absolutely not.
Even a
But,
TV show. I'd watch a TV show.
yeah. So my number one basically influenced my entire life.
Okay.
I watched this movie for the first time when I was about 10 years old. My brother's friend brought it over and was like, "Hey guys, you guys need to watch this." And they were older at the time, obviously. And when I watched it, it blew my mind and pretty much set the pace for every single a part of aspect of my life that really holds dear to me today. And it was my very first anime movie. The movie is Akira. The animation in that movie is so fantastic, and it is. Did I lose you? I can't hear you at all.
It's not surprising you did.
What?
Yeah, you did. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
We
Can
lost
you-
connection.
Oh,
We did? Oh, you got me now?
yeah, I got you now. Okay.
No?
Yeah, we're good.
No.
Are you good? I do. Good. I do.
Yeah, we lost connection for a second, but as I was saying, it doesn't surprise me that your number one would be an anime. I know you love anime so much.
Yep. Now you look like a spaghetti western, by the way.
I do?
Yeah. There's a slight delay between the words and the way your mouth is moving.
Oh, okay. So my dubbing is off?
Yeah, pretty much. Speaking of dubbing, there's actually 2 different dubbings, good segue, to this movie. And the original dubbing is actually better than the secondary dubbing. I don't know why they decided to go ahead and redub it. It was perfect the way it was. But they got a brand new...
When you talk about different dubbing, was it different voice actors in the second one? Or?
Yes, completely different. Completely voice actors. They retranslated the entire script, and sometimes when you retranslate something with different translators, it doesn't always come out the same way because, people translate in different
Sure, absolutely.
ways. It's never 1-to-1 when you're trying to translate something. But it really influenced the rest of my entire life when it comes to anime. And I absolutely love it. Like there's been like little bitty talks about making a live action version, which if they got the right director, I mean Steven Spielberg really nailed Battle Angel Alita.
He's the only one that's ever done it.
I mean, yeah, you're right.
Any anime remakes I've heard. Now I really wouldn't know because I'm not a big anime fan,
Right.
but I've heard have always been disappointing.
They're kind of hit and miss. Okay, so if the anime remakes into live action, if you watch the Japanese versions,
Yeah,
they are 10 times better than the American versions.
really.
Yes. Until Battle Angel Alita came out, and then it's like, what? Literally, if you guys have not seen that movie, when it comes out on DVD, it is a definite watch. It is breathtakingly beautiful.
It looks beautiful on the trailers.
Oh. Magnificent.
I wonder if Spielberg's a fan of that and fan of anime.
Well, yeah, he's the one who bought the rights to Battle Angel Alita. Because what happened was Toei made an original anime from the manga that was being published, and they only made like 3 episodes
Okay.
just to test the waters. And immediately after the 3 episodes were made and aired, Steven Spielberg bought the rights.
He must have really liked it then.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
So the movie, the live action remake was fantastic. So, but I mean, I would love to see a live action of this. It wouldn't be too hard to do, specifically in that same formula that they did.
Yeah.
But you know, the only time will tell what they can do. Still, one of my favorite movies of all time.
Good list.
Complete.
Good list. I like that.
So is yours, Zach. You had a really good list of childhood. We had a really pretty awesome childhood movie set up. You know.
We did, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's why you guys should listen to us. We know what we're talking about here. You know, just tell us what you guys like.
We did spend most of our lives watching these movies, so we
Yeah, over and over again.
exactly.
You know, and you know, hopefully we'll come up with another good idea for next week's topic.
We will, and we say the bottom of the barrel, but there's a lot of ideas out there. We just got to put our old noggins to use and think of stuff.
I mean, we could always do 7 ways to Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, right.
You know. But leave us a comment, guys. Hit like, subscribe, share with your friends, and let us know what you think. That's the only way we're going to get any better. I mean,
Yes.
we like to keep the conversation going, and I know there's at least 4 of you that watch this. You know, excluding us. So, you know, help us out. It'd be nice. But Zach, at the end of the video, as always, do you have any last words?
I do. Please support your arts, because without art, the world would be suckier than it is.
Amen to that, brother. And as always be kind to each other. And we'll see you next time.